back at it again. Your host, Jalid, and we have a new special guest. He goes under the name Adrian, under the hashtag on Instagram, the username on Instagram, HondaTech371. Thank you for coming on here, man. We appreciate you on here.
Yeah, no, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. Thanks, Curtis. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been nice to try to get some technicians on here, and Honda, Toyota, only Audi guy over here, so I kind of stand out like a sore thumb,
for a second, I was just like, how come he hasn't invited any Euro guys? So
yeah. Well, speaking of that, I mean, Euro. We can talk about how I got into the industry, but it's funny because I started with Toyota. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into the industry, how you started, and then how you started your Instagram page. You're telling us a little bit about that before we started recording.
yeah, so really just got in like any other high school kid that was into Hondas, and I didn't think much of it then, but I was like, oh, these cars are cool to work on, And then I got into that pack program back like in 2009, 2010 after I graduated high school. And I was doing that. Then I took some regular GE courses in college. And at that point, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just like, I was working at Lowe's and at the school, I was going to Chico. I was living in Chico, moved out of my parents' house, working at Lowe's, and I was a cashier. And I was closing. I was closing one night. My brother called me up. He was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, closing up. He was like, what do you got going on tomorrow? And I was like, I got a math class, just like the regular stuff through college. And he was like, you want a job? And I was like, sure. I was like, why not? He was just like, he's like, it's changing oil. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And me back then, I didn't really have money. I was going through college, And I was like, yeah, making money, yeah. I was like, what? He's like, on Hondas. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll definitely do it. And my dad was pretty upset. Being, a Hispanic dad, he really wanted me to go to school and get an education and, do better for myself. And he was pissed when I told him, I was like, hey, I'm leaving. And he was like, where are you going? And I was like, I'm going to go work on cars. And he was just like, I think he didn't talk to me for about 2 months. He was mad. He was super mad. And, that was like back in 2014. And now, it's taken me a while, to get where I am. But I never imagined it, and then through that, I met my fiance at the dealer. I was doing her oil change, and I was like, who's that girl? And I had her RO. And I was like, oh, there's a number.
Bro, what? There's no way.
Yeah.
A customer.
Like, she was a customer. But I knew of her. I didn't know of her. My brother knew of her through his girlfriend's sister's best friend. And he was like, hey, that's Christine. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, you should get her number off the RO. And I was like, okay, sure. So.
Hey, it worked out. Look at you now.
Yeah. Bro, that's crazy.
I was just like, when I was like, I don't go out, I don't party, I don't go to the bars, I don't do any of that. I go to the gym, but I was like, I don't go up to girls and be like, hey, can I get your number? And I was just like, I don't know, I might as well shoot my shot, while I'm here.
I met my wife through the dealership. She worked there though. So she worked there, but still, I mean, you spend so much time there, and you work with the same people and stuff like that. You build those relationships, and before you know it, I mean, we got 2 kids. We're married now, so
never had to do an oil change day in her life or pay for one, man. But yeah. How it started off. I said yeah, and I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll come, and it's given me a lot. I will say that.
So that's about 9 years. You said that you've been in the industry. Oh no, wait.
Well, I started in 14.
Okay, so and then I know you've just posted on your Instagram about Honda sent you some awards.
15 year, because my dealer number was created in 2010 when I was in the program. Yeah.
Okay. So 15 years basically starting out with Honda.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. Thanks, man. How long you guys been? Curtis, I know you've been like what, 15, maybe 10? with Audi?
Yeah, it's been it's been 15. I mean, I've been doing oil changes I did oil changes for like a year, so I'd say total 16-ish years, but in the dealership for 15. Yeah.
Jay?
Yeah, I'm sitting at like 3.5 years.
Are you really?
Yeah. I'm a
Really?
baby. Yeah, I'm a baby.
But he's like master certified, and he's got,
I know. I was lurking on his page right now. I was like, this guy's master. I was like, this guy's been there for 20 years already.
Nah, bro. I wish. Nah, I just try my best for them. But yeah,
Does your dealer require you to have ASCs or to get them?
Yes, sir. The dealer requires you to have ACs. A8, A1 through A8, and then L1 to reach MDT, Master Diagnostic Technician.
Is that the same for you, Curtis, or no?
we don't require ASCs to be certified. Now, Audi recently added ASCs in to get into like the expedited training program. You have to have 2 ASCs to qualify for the expedited training, which can put you at expert level in 2 years. So you have the ability to be master certified within 3 years.
Yeah, but you're already there, right? So
yeah, they introduced that program right after I started, which was kind of it took me 8 years to get Master Guild certified.
So people are doing it in less than what you had to do it, right?
Yeah, and that being said, is my service manager, him and I had a conversation about how some of the younger guys are already like at the certification level that I am, and that they don't want to pay or treat those younger guys the same way as the guys like me who have been in the industry for 8, 9, 10, 15 years. And so they're struggling because the younger guys are like, well, I'm master certified and I want to get paid this and that. And it's like, I'm sir, you've been in the industry 3 years. I think let's pump the brakes on that a little bit. You know what I mean? So
I can see how, like how they feel. When I got my master certified, it was like 2019 or 2018, and I got a $5 raise, and I was still not making near as much as what, I can see their mentality. Like, I want to make what they make if I'm doing that kind of work as well, is what I hadn't thought, because I was doing all that work, but I was getting paid like $4 less than they were. And so I held out for a year, and I asked my manager for a raise, and he gave me like $1. And I was like, can I just get like at least what they're making? And I told him, I was like, I'm doing the same work. Like, whatever they give me, I do, and whatever they do, I can do. And he was like, no. And so my brother was a shop foreman, and I was like, dude, I think I'm gonna leave. I was like, I think I'm gonna leave. I was like, because it's not, I was like, it's just like $2 or $3, dude. And I was just like, I think I need to leave to learn more and to be on my own instead of having people that I know who would usually help. I was like, I think I need to go do something for myself at a different shop. And that's exactly what I did, and I think they were offering me like $10 more. And when I came back, because the shop sold and got bought out, and everything just went down the drain. And I came back, and I was, I got what I asked for. So it was pretty cool. But I think leaving was good for me to grow as well. I don't know. I just find it kind of weird sometimes how, you have to leave to get more, and then you end up growing yourself. So.
Yeah. Jay, you've been at the same dealership the whole time, right?
Yeah, I've been at the same dealership. You guys are talking about like the young techs coming up and wanting like to get paid big bucks,
right?
Yeah, so like it's basically me. So, but fortunately for me, like Adrian was just saying that he was doing the work, and luckily my service manager understood, and I've always tried to put myself in a leadership position. So, along with the work that I was doing, I was also giving knowledge to the other guys and always helping out. Like he would say every time he sees a big problem in the shop that I was also under the hood, even if it wasn't my car. So then in just being that, I was able to like get the team lead status and get the same pay as other older individuals in the shop. And so like it worked out well for me, but a couple of the other guys, they are like, we're the same certification in the like same age area, but like there's a couple bucks difference because like they're not in the same mentorship that I'm trying to do. Like it's which I
But
know sucks, but
you showed qualities of a leader. You showed qualities of, being ready to step into that more mature role. So like in that instance, I understand, I mean, that's fantastic that you're able to work into that, and people, you're reliable. Your service manager can rely on you and to train people, to help people, and you know, obviously you're doing stuff that some of those same level guys aren't doing.
yeah. But you said how long did you leave your original shop for, Adrian?
That's the first shop that I had gone to where I first moved to, and it was an old shop, and then they moved into this brand new building, and I was there for probably like 2 or 3 years. So I think I was at the first shop for like 6 years or so. And then I left, went to a different dealer that literally like across town, and I was there, and I surprisingly I left the dealer life. I went to go try out something else. My buddy was like, "Hey," he's like, "You want to come work at AUL?" And I don't know if you guys are familiar with AUL, which is now Protective. It's a service contract company. So you go to the dealer, you buy a used car, and they're like, "Oh, we have this powertrain contract or this, exclusionary contract. So when something happens with your car, we'll cover it." Like this is the company you call. So when people would call in claims, what this company was is like, "Oh, hey, I got this 5.7, it needs lifters or whatever," and you'd be like, "Okay, give me the part number. What's your name?" And I was like, "All right, take down the parts, take down the whole story, why it needs it." And it'd be like $8,000 claim, and I'd be like, "All right, here's $8,000. Go ahead and fix this car up or whatever." So I started doing that. I wasn't a claims adjuster, is what you call it, and they offered me the position of a supervisor before I was leaving. And same thing again. They sold the company. They got rid of all the benefits. I think it was like the benefits was like 90-10, like you were 90% covered, and that was for family as well, like so your kid and stuff. So that's the only reason I left, because the benefits were really good. And I was like, I guess I can get out of wrenching and try something that's vehicle related. They sold the company and they took all that away, and I was like, wow, this really is not worth it anymore. So I went back to the dealer. I tried. I was like, I'll try something else out. I was like, why not? I could always go back if it doesn't work out. So,
facts. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. That's what I tell people, like who, like if they want to try something else out, I'm like you can do this. I was like, you can always go back. I was like, no one's taking away what you know. If you want to try something else out, try it out. And if it doesn't work out, then you can literally go work at any dealer that works in this manufacturer, and you'll get hired because you already know what to do. So I look at it that way. Like, I'll try something else out. If it doesn't work out, I could always fall back on what I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, because like you said, I mean, I've seen some of the stuff you've posted, or you use the stories a lot with the people who message you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way that you send your message and you reply to it lets others see how you respond and how you the advice you give. And it lets, because some people might have that same question, but they're just maybe a little bit afraid to ask. And so when you have the message and then you'll do like a video clip, I'm like, oh, that's a great point. Like, I'll learn stuff from it, and I'll be like, man, I wouldn't have thought to ask that, but I've thought about it. And then, we can learn from each other. I learn from stuff you say all the time. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, or that's great advice. So it's like, like you said, go try some of that stuff, and you never know.
Yeah, because when someone messages me like, hey, I kind of want to change dealers, what should I do? I've been trying to do more or something, and initially what I asked people was like, well, do you have anybody who depends on you? No. I was like, then you have nothing to lose. I was like, you could go anywhere you want. I was like, you got nothing to lose, man. To say, like, if I didn't have kids, I'd be traveling a lot more, but I'm happy with where I'm at, and it's just like, dude, like, kids nowadays have nothing to lose. I was like, you can try something else out and find what it is that you want to do. You know, I had 12 jobs before I started actually working on cars. You know, it's a lot.
What time span?
In probably like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Brother was just trying stuff.
Yeah, I was.
Finally hit the nail on the head. What about you, Jay? Is this your first job besides the military?
No, yeah. So before the military, I ended up working at a factory, a plywood factory,
Dang.
near the area. Just trying to like, cause
Family's Hispanic and like I grew around Hispanic people and everything, and so everybody was basically working in factories. So like everybody had that mindset, like, and it's also a good way to like to see the struggle that your family has gone in through, especially like immigrants coming over here. A lot of them end up working in factories and stuff, and it's really hard work. Like you can say it's like kind of repetitive. It is, but it's hard work, especially that plywood factory, bro. It was 6 to 6 days a week. Like it was bad. And I did it for 3 months and I said, yep, I'm going to the Marines. I was out.
I know that feeling. That's so
I did the oil field for a few months between my Toyota. I actually took I actually haven't even talked about this. I took like a 6-8 month hiatus between Toyota. So I took a little break in my Toyota time and I did time at NOV in the oil field. And it was like that. It was like 12-hour days and 6-7 days a week. I mean, sometimes it would be, I mean, they would pay great. Like, they'll pay double time. They'll pay triple time. They'll pay you, but your time is gone. You have enough time to come home, sleep, use the bathroom, and then go back to work. It's like, there's no time for family. There's no time for fun. There's just, I mean, you did the plywood factory, that I'll work 12-hour days at work because I want to and not because I have to.
Yeah, it's basically like you go to sleep, wake back up, work, go to sleep, wake back up. Like,
that's hard.
I can't believe you did the oil field, bro. You was out there with them chains and the tube. I've seen those reels. Like, they're like,
I don't know if I was lassoing them up like a oil rig cowboy or nothing, but yeah, you could say that.
Did you premiere in the show Landman too?
No.
Y'all know about the show Landman?
Yeah.
That show's pretty good.
Yeah.
But also, Adrian, how did you end up? Oh, sorry, Chris.
No, no, take it. You go for it.
How did you end up like branching off into social media? Was that something you thought of, or is it something someone else kind of inspired you to do?
Well, I always I was the accessory guy when after a year or two, and our service rep would buy the base model car and outfit it with every accessory possible that you can imagine. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna start recording, and I still have my old iPhone. It was like a 5 or something, but I can't get it to turn on. I have a lot of footage on there, probably all pixelated and stuff now. But I was recording myself doing like fog light installs or remote starts, wings on like random cars and stuff like that. So I just never posted any of it, and it just got to a point where I was just like, maybe I'll just start. When I actually had my page, I was like, maybe I'll just start like uploading what I do at work, and then it just, I don't know. It was I really didn't do it I still don't do it for likes, I guess, or for attention or anything, because like I make a video, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be good in my head, and I was like, if it gets no views, like that's fine too. It'll be cool. It's a cool little edit, And at first, I was like spending like 2 or 3 hours editing like a 20-minute video, and I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool to take what I did into like 3 minutes and upload it, and just like real quick, see if people can see what I do. So I thought that was cool in my head. So it looks pretty cool after I put it all together, After I watch it, like a sense of accomplishment, like, oh, this looks pretty cool. That's it.
I mean, it looks like it obviously got you this far. I mean, you started doing that, and now you're pretty big on Instagram, and I seen you started your YouTube back up. And
yeah, I just started the YouTube, and I feel like it's hard with YouTube because if YouTube catches any sound or music lyric, it won't push it and it'll copyright it.
It's so strict.
Yeah. Instagram's a lot more lenient. TikTok's You got to use TikTok. If they hear a single song for like the past 30 seconds, they won't monetize it. A lot of stuff like oh yeah, it won't get monetized, or they just don't push it in general, So it kind of sucks sometimes. So like on YouTube, like I had like a bunch of videos that I walked through, but there was music in the background and it said copyright, and they would get like the least amount of views, and I'd be like, oh, this is a really informative video, and I got like really discouraged. So I just recently started, so I tell people like, all right, I'm not gonna play no music. I'm gonna try to explain something now, and try to help people out. So that's where I'm trying to take my YouTube, just to show people how to do their own work, really.
Yeah, that's good. I haven't, I guess, ventured out into that YouTube world yet. I know it's probably the most profitable and maybe the most expansive one, but I definitely haven't.
I think YouTube and Facebook, when people ask me like, where do you make, in terms of profit, like I'm going to say Facebook.
You have a lot of people that hit you up for the side stuff?
Like profit as in monetized, but like side stuff, like people hit me up through all types of platform, TikTok, Facebook. I've gotten so many jobs through TikTok.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, I was just, Jay, you look like you're about to say something. I didn't want to have us flip over each other again, so I was like hesitant to be like, and then there's like an awkward pause.
It's because my freaking cat is like on the sofa, and I was like, y'all don't.
I thought you were throwing boxes over there.
No, yeah, it's a stupid freaking cat, man.
Yeah, Adrian, I've seen some stuff. What are some things, we all can talk about the technician shortage and stuff like that, flat rate. And do you mind telling us a little bit like the way that your shop does things, and then how that, benefits you and some of the guys that you see, and so maybe some of the downfalls and some solutions that you have for those?
It's hard because what it comes down to with a lot of people wanting to do stuff and like they feel like they want to do more, or they just leave out in general, is because they want to get paid more. Who doesn't want to make more money? When people reach out to me like, oh, like I've been doing this and I'm making, X amount of money in the state, it's different, because I tell people like, well, in the state of California, like if you're an hourly guy and you bring your own tools, you're going to get paid $33 an hour. You might not know how to do fuel pumps, but you're going to get paid $33 an hour.
Whoa, hold up, brother.
That's what y'all starting at?
$3.
Double minimum wage, like 32, 33, whatever it is in California, like so double it. So that's
I mean, cost of living's got to be really high though, no?
I think like, for a place like where I live, it's pretty expensive in Napa, California. But I think I pay like $2,800 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage, backyard. But at the same time, like it's doable, but I feel like when people reach out, and they ask like, hey, what can I do better? And then I think I tell them that, and I think they get discouraged, and you're like, oh man, they feel bad about themselves, like, or something, So I'm just like, no, like it's just like a different state. Like, but there is people out there who I know who are hourly guys who don't know how to do anything, and they get paid like $33 an hour. I'm just like, that's what I want to do. I want to be just an oil changer. If I go somewhere else and I'm just chill, I wanted to be at Home Depot in the garden department, but now I just want to change oil. I'll do that. That's funny.
So you're not full flat rate then, or are you?
I am, but when it's slow, we're still going to get paid the base rate, which is $32 or $33 an hour. So but it has to be more than what I'm on the clock for. So say I flagged 37 hours and I was on the clock 50. I'm going to get paid 50 at the base rate. It's not productive, but you're still getting paid to be at work because your employer is requiring you to be at work. So you're still going to be there and you're going to get paid. They have to pay you by law.
Okay, that's kind of the stuff that I've been trying to talk about, is like, I think someone else mentioned just in another show that I was talking about, where they said in California, that's, you have your base rate, and then anything over the time you're there is like flat rate. So you need to keep that.
Yeah, it's your production rate. So you have what they're going to pay you, and you sign your production bonus rate. And your production bonus rate is probably like, I don't know, say it's like $50 an hour. So your base rate is going to be 33. Your production bonus, that's why you always want to be over, like the incentive, like to be over 100%, so you can get paid your base rate for that, pay period, or your production bonus for that pay period.
Okay. And then how does that affect? I mean, does that seem to be working pretty well for you and the guys in the shop, the younger guys, the older guys?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I know you've seen Eddie, my coworker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does oil changes all day, and he makes the most out of the hourly guys. And I'm just like, I want your job. Like, I don't want to have to worry about nothing all day. But it's definitely, I would say, from what people tell me, like where it's really cut and dry, where they're like, oh no, there's no work, I'm not getting paid. And I feel for them, like people outside of California, or I'm just like, man, like those guys are the real flat rate people. They go through it, they struggle, there's no work, like they're going through it. I can see, if it's slow to a point at our shop, and they're like, hey, they'll start cutting people out, but at least people get something, and I don't think it should be like that. Just in my state, I think everyone else, because I think that's where people are just like, well, what am I standing around for? I'm gonna go home, or there's no point of being here, type of thing. And it's very cut and dry, when I don't feel it should be like that. If your employer's like, oh, well, we need you here to do this job, and you're just like, well, you're not paying me to stand around either, so I can't clock downtime with you guys. Like, my hat's off to you guys who are actually the real flat rate people, and it's tough. I can see how for you guys how it's tough,
Yeah, that's you, right, Jay? You do full flat rate?
Yeah, full flat rate.
Yeah, I think, okay, so this is like a side thing on that, where you're paid like you are. Sometimes managers and employers will say, oh, the techs never show up on time, or they leave early. Do you find that since you're getting paid that way, that helps with attendance and tardiness?
Yeah, to a certain point, because I'll tell my manager, like, hey man, like there's nothing really going on, and then my numbers don't look good. I really don't want to be under production and get paid base rate when I have the chance to be at 100% or more and get paid my bonus rate. And then he understands, and I'm just like, dude, I was like, really no point for me to hang around, and the shop foreman will stay. But yeah, don't worry, like you guys can go home. I'll just stay till the end of the day. Nothing really gonna come in anyways, So they give us the option, like, oh, okay, or we'll take turns, like somebody stay, it's your turn next or whatever. But usually, like, work dies out by like 3:00, and it's just like, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I was just curious if, some people are like, oh, the techs are always showing up late, and I was curious if maybe that you saw a difference at all with that.
No, but my shop's not really. It's different, that's for sure. We get an hourly note and like a warranty job, and we'll like, all right, the hourly guys will be like, all right, you guys got to find out what this squeak is, because we're not gonna waste our time, initially, So, or like a water leak. Oh, a water leak? I know just the guy. He's the hourly person right over there.
Bruh,
So
I wish.
we just don't find it like I did squeaks, I did water leaks, I did noises, all that stuff. I'm just like, this is good hourly learning right here. You guys want to learn more? Here you go. So like a lot of the warranty stuff that comes in, we're just like, oh, it's a noise. We know who's standing around, who can fix this, because they're standing around half the time sometimes,
Oh yeah, on their phones, chilling, knowing that they're gonna get the same paycheck every time.
I'm like, I know who to give this to, and I'm not the shop foreman. I'll just be like, people will say I'm coach shop foreman. I'm like, no, that's not me. Never do that. But I still tell people like, oh no, you should do this. I still throw my input out there.
Yeah, facts. Like air pressure. Oh yeah, I know the people.
Yeah.
I know the people.
Yeah. Oh, you got a warranty piston ring job? I know just the hourly guy who wants to do it and learn.
Bro, that's crazy on the hourly guy. Oh my.
I'd be like, Josh, you want to do more? I know you do. And he'll be like, yeah. But he's like, yeah, I want to do more. I want to learn how to do this. And he'll be like, why don't you want to do it? We're talking about this today because the warranty piston ring job pays like 8 hours. And you have to re-ring 1 through 4. And customer pays like 22 hours. And I was like, he's like, why aren't you like doing them? And I was like, because all I did was warranty when I did them. I was like, I never got a customer pay one. I was like, you think I want to do another one under warranty? I was just like, no. I was like, I did like 15, 20 of them like in a year one time. And I was like, no. I was like, no. I was like, I'll do them customer pay. I was like, but warranty, I think this is better for you. You'll get to know the ins and out of a V6 engine, you know?
Yeah,
but I feel there is like a lot more learning in my shop, you know, and people can take advantage of that. And we do have hourly guys, like we'll walk them through, like, oh, you can do a head gasket? Yeah, go ahead and do it. Like, I'll walk you through if you need help, you know, I'm not doing nothing. So I feel it's a lot more, it's a lot for younger guys. They can experience a lot more, and a lot of younger guys don't have this opportunity when they're in, you know, some certain shops. Like they can't just take on a job and have someone watch them and help them, you know, or I feel like there's a lack of teaching for the younger guys. And if they don't learn, then, you know, they get discouraged and they just don't even want to do it anymore. There's real like high turnaround nowadays.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like that gives you a kind of an advantage, it sounds like, to be able to use those hourly guys to train them on some of those harder and bigger jobs you just said there. So that's pretty awesome. You yeah, you got a question? You got something?
No,
Okay. I would say you mentioned turnaround, but I mean, we all see the messages from the guys about they want to quit and they're done with it. And I mean, some days, man, I get it. I 100% get it. And you know, Jay, you're still young, so you might kind of feel this way sometimes. But it's just like, I feel like for maybe me and Adrian, it's like sometimes, like I want to get out. I'm only 3 years in, and my dealership does this, and the techs in my shop do this. And I'm just like, bro, like you've got a long career to build. So I guess the follow up is there some things that you tell the young guys in your shop and maybe online? There's some, like, maybe something that really stands out to you, that if there's some young guy out there that's watching that's saying, man, I'm ready to just throw the tile in here, what would be something you tell to them?
I'd be straight up, you know, like I tell people, like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I was like, but you got to at least try it out. Like, did you really try, or you just, you know, it's hard, you know, to be honest with people sometimes, you know, because I'll see young people and in my head, I'll be like, yeah, he's not, I can tell I can tell he doesn't want to try, or I can tell it's just another job for him, you know. Like, do they have the mentality that they want to do more? And I'm no one to push that onto people, like, oh, no, you want to do this. Like, if they don't want to do it, cool, you know, it's not my life, you know. If you don't want to do this, don't do it, you know. Like, you're free to do whatever you want, you know. Josh, one of my, you know, with the hourly guys there, I can tell he wants to do it, you know. And he'll be like, no, he's like, can I watch you? I'm like, yeah, sure, you know. He's like, can I do that job for you? Yeah, sure, you know. You want to do a valve adjust? Yeah, I do. You want to do my alignment? Sure, okay, yeah. I feel like he wants to learn. He's like a fly, you know. He's just always there, like, yeah, let me show you. So for the guys who like want to get out, you know, like they say it's not for them, like, I'm no one to tell you that, you know, you should stay. You know, if you want to leave. But I feel people should at least actually try and be at work and show up, not just physically, but mentally. Like, show up, dude. Like, if you want to do this, I guarantee you'll go far. But I do get a lot of messages saying getting out was the best thing I ever did, you know, or best decision. And, you know, I good for you. You know, I mean,
yeah.
I can't really tell you, like, okay, cool, yeah, you know, like, all right, what do you want me to tell you? Like, that's good. I'm glad you know, you're doing better, you know. I was like, but I'm here, and it's giving me a lot, you know. I'm not gonna tell you, like, oh yeah, it's bad and I can't wait to get out, you know. I still show up to work, you know, with this the same way I showed up for the past, like, you know, 10 12 years or whatever, with like, oh yeah, wonder what today's gonna bring, you know.
Always something new.
Always something new, man. And it's, I don't know. I feel like it's a little more exciting for me because I'm just like, I have something like, oh, I can't wait to, like, if I do an engine job, that'd be a cool little video, you know? So I'd be like, people will be like, hey, you want this engine swap? And I'll be like, yeah, I'll take it. I was like, make a cool vid. Sure, why not?
Yeah, well, I'll ask you, Jay. I mean, before I jump into what I was going to say, but based off that, but I was saying is, do people, you get those same type of questions and interest from the things you're seeing on like Instagram and stuff about?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do. And I mean, I kind of just like try and make it make sense. Like if your dealership, like it depends where you're at, honestly. Like if your dealership is kind of unfair and kind of strict in a way where you don't feel like you're in the best place, yeah, go ahead, look for other places, man. But like, I mean, sometimes they confuse it with like a them issue. They confuse a personal issue with like a dealership issue. And I'm like, bro, that's you, bro. That's like on you. Like you didn't want to work hard. You didn't want to go L your number. You sat down there and waited for gravy to be sat in your lap, and then you complained when someone else pulled it before you. Like the last week, like 2 days ago, I was L'ing my number. Like I do copy and like L your number on CDK is basically just hit L and then your number, and that's how you locate a job. That's how you pull a ticket. So I just do copy and paste. I literally just spammed that because I could see that there was gravy in there and everybody's on their computers going. And then I get it, and I'm a dispatcher, but like I get it because I got it because I was L'ing my number the same way. And then over the shop I hear, bruh, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, I beat you to it fair and square. Like you were sitting down and you didn't see it. I beat you. I'm sorry. And I just go grab it. It's really them. It's really them. But like there's some other people where they're in bad situations, and I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, you got to go. Like you got to go. Your toolbox has wheels for a reason, brother. And you have 2 legs for a reason. Like just go walk away.
Yeah, I get the same stuff. I feel like right up there with what Adrian said about just being honest with them, and I've always, for me, is found that if you put in the effort, it's you're gonna do good. Unless your dealership is like struggling for workflow or you have like a major issue in like the leadership there, it's like you put in the time, you put in the effort, and you try. I mean, it's going to treat you well. You're going to, like you said, it's going to build your family and it's going to help you live your life and support your family. You put in that time and you're just honest with yourself, because, like you just said, is like people want to blame the dealership, and it's like I'll see messages of people complaining, and it's so hard to not be like,
bro, try harder, please.
Yeah. I want to be like, dude, I can just tell by the demeanor in the message or the comment. I'm like I know people like you. I know this conversation and this comment. And so that's hard sometimes to be like super, super straightforward and be like, well, you have to like think about how turning that answer positively and saying like, okay, well, why don't you try this way? And then sometimes people will kind of be like, oh, like I had someone message me today and they were saying is like, once I took 100% accountability, my career has started to skyrocket. And I was like, yes, thank you. Like, this is beautiful. Like I
was a problem and I turned it around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's so hard to do that.
With that, like you could try as hard as you want, but management could be wrong and it won't go well for you, so if you have the wrong management in there, or they're that could ruin your experience altogether. That'll make you want to leave.
Yeah, and there's plenty of that for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's not saying that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to wait them out, because management really comes and goes. Like service managers, they kind of have in my experience, they have a high turnover rate.
Mine just got fired last week. Oh. Mine just got fired last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been here 3.5 years, and I've had 3 service managers. So,
well, I've had the same service manager for 9 years.
His job.
But I will say is I kind of look at it sometimes and I'm like, man, he's a good service manager. Why hasn't he been promoted yet? So I don't know why that hasn't happened, but I mean, he's been doing good enough to stay there. So, the dealership thrives. So I don't have that problem where we have a turnover of management. We have the same service manager, service director, and shop foreman for 9 years.
Oh yeah, dude. We have a high turnover. Like I've had 3 GMs, 3 service managers, um, almost a complete. It's a complete new group of advisors that when I originally came to the store. Yeah, like whole complete new people. Even sales department. Basically, the only thing that is kind of like not even the tech side. Like when I originally started, all the people who were there 3.5 years ago, it's only 3 of us left, and there's a total of 13 techs.
Oh, there's not a lot of techs.
Yeah, we're a smaller shop. We have 14 bays.
Got
So yes,
48 techs.
Dang.
Including express, but still, that's still like they take work, they take PDIs, they take stuff like that. So, I mean, I wish we could get rid of some of those techs right now. I mean, that's a hard conversation to have, not like my conversation to have, but it's so slow. It's kind of like, well, I don't know, whatever.
How many appointments are you guys getting a day?
Gosh, this month we've been averaging like 35 to 40 a day. It's been really rough for the dealership. And some days we get like a bunch of walk-ins. Like we'll do more than 40, but you're lucky to see 2 tickets a day right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's bad. And
that is 2 tickets
and full flat rate. So it's kind of, I was thinking,
going home with drunk, man.
I was saying, how you flagging all them hours? You 2 tickets?
I don't. That's the problem. I haven't been. That's the problem. It's been, dude. I've been.
How much you get today?
I'm surprised they haven't put you guys like on split schedules. Like, all right, team A and team B. You know,
I'm kind of surprised something hasn't been done because this whole year has been slow for us. So I'm surprised a little bit. Maybe I'm not surprised. I don't know. I like something needs to get done, and I think we're all just kind of waiting. Yeah, next month will be busy, or next month, and it's just like it's October, and it's like nope,
yeah, December's coming around.
You could always ask my management, my service manager always kind of shows me the amount of ROs and customers we have coming in this month versus the last month, because I like to be like transparent about the numbers, and I always look at like, are we hitting budget? How are we doing on CP? How are we doing on warranty? How are we doing on like sublet and all that stuff? I like that kind of stuff. So he always ends up showing me like the RO count, and like some months we be tracking like where we missed almost 100 customers from the last month and the last month and the last month. So I'm like, dang, but we've been busy like the past week. But you were saying like 30 appointments for how many days that y'all have?
Yeah, that's nothing.
Great.
That's that full flat rate life, guys.
I mean, bro, I'm on full flat rate, but like I'm at least touching 7 cars a day, but you do get paid more per car because like it's like for an alignment, you get paid more than I do for an alignment. But
yeah, I think also like the way we get dispatch tickets is different than y'all. And the way I'm Master Guild certified, so which is basically, the top certification that Audi has. And so my group leader, I will get maybe the jobs that have bigger potential. And so I'm able to capitalize a little bit more. I also am the only tech in my shop that has 2 designated bays. So I'm able to kind of use that to my advantage. But I will say, what I was going to say earlier is I sometimes will feel bad when I know there's not enough work, and I'm the kind of guy that's going to get a ticket in, get it addressed, and then get it out. And I'll get 2 or 3 tickets a day, and some of the guys on the team will get 1 and out. And then like I look back and I'm like, I've had such mixed feelings about it because it's kind of like a dog eat dog thing, and I'm just like,
I'm a good person.
I mean, I am, but I feel bad. Like I feel bad that has to come to that because some people aren't as like strategic and aggressive with the way that they get work, and it's like, I'm sorry, but I like we all need those tickets too. So it's kind of like I feel bad, and that's just like I don't know what to do when it comes to that.
Dang, you guys, I
Great
got
training, bro.
same amount as techs as Jay. We got like 14 people in our shop, but each of the master techs have two bays, so it's cool. I love having 2 bays, you know. And then the dispatching is done by the shop foreman, so he'll look up hours and be like, who's low on hours? Here you go. Here's this 4-hour service, you know. But it's, dang, I can't imagine 40 something techs and 30 cars. We get like maybe like 30, 40 cars a day, you know, what we've been getting, but it's enough for us, you know, because there's 5 flat rate guys and everyone else is hourly. So mostly the PDIs, the used cars, all that stuff comes to the flat rate guys.
Yeah, it's definitely a struggle. I mean, we definitely get some walk-ins, so it's not like we're capped at like 30.
Yeah,
but it's not much more. It's do what?
Yeah, like in a way, you're willing to take in whatever comes in. You know, you're not going to say no. I mean, and service isn't going to say no. I don't feel like, especially right now.
Yeah, and we do a lot of loan cars. So we'll give out loan cars for a lot of stuff where customers will drop their cars off, and so we try to offer as much like a good benefits at the dealership to kind of get drawing in more people and stuff like that. So it's just tough for us right now, and all I can do is show up the next day and be like, hey, maybe today's the day it gets better.
I've seen that you've been talking a lot more about, you know, of like flat rate and this. Is there something you like want to get like more deep into conversation with, like the whole like flat rate experience and stuff like that? I've seen even much like the questions, you know, like on your Instagram.
So it obviously stemmed from not being able to post in the shop. So I've been struggling to find things to talk about and things to do. I was doing stuff in my garage and that was kind of running into my time with my family. And it was just like I don't, like I want to, but I don't, it's not that important, but I still want to post. And so I kind of had a weird September, and that's when I started doing like the face, you know, talking straight to the camera and just kind of being like, this was my day. And I got a lot of good feedback. People like, oh, this is so cool. And like, I really like to hear about it. It kind of motivated me. And so I was like, okay, so it's, you know, it's not getting me thousands and thousands of views, but it's doing a lot of engagement. I'm getting a lot of positive engagement and messages. So I was like, okay, let me try to keep going with that. And as you guys both know, the Instagram algorithm it prefers to push that negative, nasty content that I don't even enjoy talking about. And so, but you have to start with like a hook that's going to get people interested. And so I've been trying to do spin it in like a negative at the beginning and then saying, okay, here's the solution, or here's what I would do, or here are my thoughts. And so that's kind of been what I'm trying to do. And when you talk about flat rate, is I think the fact that it's slow for me has brought up the conversation of flat rate more, because it's like, all right, like I've worked flat rate for 15 years and I've been very successful with it. But now I'm successful because there's been an abundance of cars and I'm able to work, 10 or 15 cars in my queue at one time. And that's just how I've always operated. Now that I've got 2 or 3 cars in my queue, it's just like I'm losing my mind. And so I think that's maybe what you're talking about, is just like, it's been a hot topic because I'm not busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like you're thinking about it more often? Because I did see that video you posted when you went out, I think on a little vacation. I don't know where you went. And I was like, my guy's going through it right now. I was like, I can see it.
Dude,
that's what
that
2
was
cars
it.
a day do to you.
No, for real. I think I went on that vacation. That was like something I had earned through the company for flagging a certain amount of hours. They did a whole like paid vacation. And so that whole trip was based off of my hours for 2024.
Yeah.
But taking 6 days off of work really starts to get you thinking. You're like out of the grind. You're enjoying your time. You're kind of have way more time to think and just enjoy yourself. And it's like, I was like, man, what am I doing after this? Like, where's this going? Like,
yeah,
I think
we can't do it forever, like that's what I think about all the time,
And Yeah, I think I would love to do something for the company I'm at. I've been there for 9 years. I've invested my time. I've invested ideas and thoughts. And I think, I don't know. How about this? That I haven't been communicated with. I've expressed what I want, but I haven't been expressed to my future at the company. And so that makes me uneasy. And so, yeah, it's just like, what's next for me?
With that being said, like, are you just how many more years do you think you can do this for?
20.
The physically working on cars?
Yeah.
20.
Oh man, I probably could do it for a while. It's just about, do I want to, like, okay, let's say I left where I'm at. I'm investing 5 to 10 more years on the mechanical side to potentially work up into a different role.
Yeah.
So then instead of being 34, I'm 44. And it's like, all right, like I don't want to be that guy that jumps shops every 5 to 10 years and never gets out of the shop either.
We're about the same age.
Yeah.
Think,
Yeah, the only young guy is this guy right here. He's 20, 22 or something like that.
yeah, I'm 23.
23, yeah.
Y'all old heads, y'all unks.
That's
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, you can't do it forever. So I think just having a plan, and my plan was kind of to, like, what can I do for the company? And I think with the incidents that happened at the beginning of the year, for me, it was just like, okay, now my future is uncertain. So that's when I started doing the Instagram and the posting and the coaching, and it's just been like a roller coaster for me. And so I don't know. We're just kind of every day I'm attacking head on.
I got a question. Did your work find out you were like first started posting and then just couldn't, or what happened?
Yeah. All I know is that they just told me to stop. I think now I know that since I was posting repairs about I shouldn't have done it. I posted repairs of how to do stuff faster, and we all know how that works. And so they found that first, and they were like, nah. And I was like, okay, cool. That makes sense. I'll delete these videos. I deleted them. And then a week later, they're like, nah, you can't post at all in the shop anymore. Like, I was like, okay, like I still need my job here. So, okay, I'll delete everything. And that was cool. Like I wasn't willing to sacrifice that. So,
Yeah. No,
how they found out, do what?
Someone definitely said, "Look what he's doing! Look what he's doing!"
Chris, working our hours.
Yeah, they were like, "He got 400 in a month." No.
I know.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know. I would like to think that wasn't the case. I'm a pretty try to be pretty positive about that, but it definitely has crossed my mind. Yeah, it's kind of sensitive. It's like I don't mind talking about it because I can talk about it pretty generally, but yeah, it's definitely one of those things. It's like, was somebody jealous? Was somebody envious? Was somebody upset? Was somebody just maybe I pissed them off that day unintentionally, and they're like, "Ah, yeah, look what Curtis is doing," and then they're
real quick, was it just your dealer, or was it like Audi corporate like reached out or something? Or
no, it was my company, the dealership and the company. They were afraid Audi was going to find it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's funny because I see people on Instagram and TikTok who work in my company that are still they post in the dealership. They're just not as popular. Like, our shops are built all the same. The company wanted all the shops in the whole company to look the same way. So the toolboxes are the same, the floor is the same, the lifts are the same. We all have the same plaques. So I'll see somebody posting like, "Oh, you work in the same company as me," but I'm not going to go oust them. I just know they do. I'm like, you keep doing you, bro. Like, keep going, because you know what? You got to build. I feel like probably can relate, but I feel like now is the most important time for technicians to build a personal brand.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, for this exact reason, let's say I wanted to leave. However many followers I have and however many views I have know who I am, know what my mindset is, and know what I'm capable of. And that goes so much further than me being like, yeah, here's this paper I flagged. I flagged whatever 400 hours last month. So like, oh, cool. Now people know what I'm about and they know who I am. And so it's, important for me is that Technar is me and they know who I am. So,
do you ever do work outside of work?
No, and the reason is they have very strict rules in the handbook about we've had techs fired for doing side work, and I'm not willing to risk it with.
Even if they don't service at your dealer, it still happen.
Say it again.
Even if they don't service, say, the customer, whoever they're doing side work for, even if they don't service it at your dealer, you can still get fired for that.
What's to say they can't say that? You know, like what?
A history.
Unless it's not an Audi. Unless they were like, they're going to be like, how do we know that? They're gonna be like, oh, you were working on an Audi at your house? That could have been our customer. And they're going to be like, nah, you're done.
I mean, but then you could prove it. Like, do they have any documentation to the dealership? No, they don't.
No, I mean, in that sense, you would be right. If they've never been to our dealership, then I would be safe.
Yeah.
Especially if it's at home. Like, if you're doing it, like Adrian does it, and you do it in your garage, right?
I do.
I've seen it. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty smart. But,
yeah, I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me like from like 2-3 hours away. I got a guy who comes and brings me his new Type S to do installs from like 6 hours away. You know, he'll stay the night. He'll get a hotel. He'll be like, all right, go ahead. I'll go to a hotel. And my girl will go out in downtown. And I mean, what? I tell them like, look, if long as you don't go to my dealer, I'll work on your car, you know? And I don't feel like if the dealer was ever to come up to me and say something, I'd be like, well, I need to make more money. Like, are you guys going to help me make more money? I have people reaching out who need work done. They don't service it with you guys. How is this, you know, they need it done by someone reputable, you know, that's not my fault. Like I'm willing to do the money to make more money, you know?
Yeah, I think on that regard, I would, being that how much eyes were on me at the beginning of the year, I would be hesitant. I kind of noticed, like on TikTok, you can see who views your profile.
Can you?
And I have strangely have like 1 or 2 people that don't follow me that continually view my profile because their names are. I wouldn't be surprised if they have somebody that keeps tabs on my account like regularly.
Yeah.
My company is that way. They're just very strict.
Yeah, you cook, brother.
But I could just like do
stuff.
it, like create a new page and do it like separate. That may be an option.
Yeah.
I do a lot of side work. Like I keep track of the amount of money like that I make each year on side work. Like one day, like it was last week. It was like a slow day. I think I only hit like 8 hours, 7 hours. It was slow, bro. But shoot, guess what? At the end of the day, I had a $300 side job, bro. I was chilling. I didn't even care about how much money I made at work. I'm
not gonna lie. Like they'll be like, "Hey, you want this job?" It'd be like a Friday, and I know I'll have a job the next day, and I'll be like, "Nah, I'm okay. I'm gonna go home early today."
Yeah, see it.
I got $2,800 waiting for me.
Yeah.
I think there's potential for it. I mean, I live 40 minutes north of the dealership, so there's definitely not like that's the closest dealership. So I definitely think there's like potential for it. I think I get a little nervous. Like I think it could happen, but I just don't want to.
I can see that. You know, you're not ready to sacrifice some side work for your actual job. You know, I get it. You know, I got contacted through Honda one time, and I was tripping. You know, it was literally, you know, if you don't delete this, you're gone type of thing. And I was like, okay. And I was just like, all right, I'll take it down, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
So we've all been contacted through corporate.
I know they watch my stuff, you know.
Sure.
That's why I no longer post stuff about like warranty or times or stuff like that, because they're watching, you know, and they don't like it. So I was just like, all right, that's fine with me, you know.
That's smart to only post like CP work. Then there's no question. There's like, this is CP work. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's why I'm like still hesitant sometimes to post about like head gasket jobs, because they're going through like a lawsuit right now of, you know, of the engine design or whatever, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to touch much about it, because people ask me all the time what's wrong with them, and I know what's wrong with them, but I'm just like, I'm not gonna say anything until the dust settles on that, So it's kind of hard to talk about like actual problems that are actually happening, and people want my input, and I'm just like, no, not yet. Can't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, on the like on whatever repair manual you use for your manufacturer, it literally says in the beginning of it, like some of this information, a lot of this information is not to be like said and told to regular customers. So I mean,
well, I can speculate, like this is what I think was wrong with it, like who's to say I can't do that, like I don't know why this is happening, but I was like, but we see it a lot on this vehicle and not on this vehicle, we can speculate and give an opinion, but like I think with like I've been hesitant to post this video about why it's happening, and it goes into depth with like the same design across various platforms across different manufacturers. And it's like a full like 8-minute explanation, and if people are like, no, don't do it, and I'm just like, yeah, I know.
It ain't worth it. It's cool. It would be so cool, but it's like,
It'd be cool just to give people an answer what I think it is, because people are always asking, but is it worth like them reaching out and saying, hey, we got to take this down, and I'd be like, well, I made it at home, I didn't even make it at work,
yeah, but you represent
Yeah.
Honda on most of your content, so it's like I could see that where and who's to say they're going to give you another chance? They just might be like, sorry, bro, you're done.
Yep.
Anyway, so Jay, do you have any questions for Adrian? You want to finish? We're going to wrap this thing up a little bit.
no, I think I've yapped everything I had in the system. I think I've said everything I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Since you've been doing this like 3 years, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself like going to like afterwards, like down the road, like into management or like service advisor or like shop foreman, then to management, or what do you see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to probably my mindset right now, as I am, and it's been like that for a couple months. Like, I don't see myself being a technician past the next 2 years. I kind of see it like I don't know, like the technician underground. Like, I see it in military eyes. Like, I see it as like Lance Corporal, E3 Mafia and below, which is basically like
In the trenches.
the grunts, like, and just like the people who get treated the worst, bro.
Yeah.
But like, they can be the smartest person in the room, but like no one cares about what they say. Like, and so I'd rather, like, if I'm gonna if I believe I can make a big influence on many people's lives, and I can help out, and I can kind of take more responsibility with lessening the wear on my body, I want to move up because I think I can take the challenge, and I'd also like to take the challenge. So I'd like to possibly do service manager, salesman, service advisor. I mean, someday I do want to be a GM. Like, I can talk to people. I'm also been reading like sales books and stuff, like how to sell product and all that stuff. But I definitely like to strive for more. It's just my opinion.
Curtis?
Well, you're getting this question next now, or we're flipping this on you after me. I think for me, the direction forward for me is technician development. I think whether that's I'm trying to start my own business stuff and kind of, talking at these events and doing stuff with I show up to rooms with people like CEOs, and I'm like, I don't even know who that person is, but they own a massive $1 million company.
Yeah.
And so just talking to them and kind of just being a voice at the table for technicians has kind of helped me decide that I want to help technicians. I want to help train and develop technicians, creating programs through dealerships for techs, help dealerships establish like a pipeline. Like, you start at maybe high school, about the company, then you're into technical school, about the company, and maybe you're interviewing with some of the service managers, and then you're in the shop, and then you're getting trained on soft skills. You can learn mechanical skills through the dealership and training, but how many techs have those skills to build their communication, to build their leadership, to know when their value is rising, and to have those hard conversations? And so I think helping techs build all those soft skills so that they can get out of the shop and, be a manager or go out and start their own business or their own shop just helping them do that because I never had that, and I wish I did. So, I don't know. Just
Have you ever like brought up like, you being like the technician that like teaches like the younger guys and stuff, like Harry brought that up in your shop, I think, like to your management?
yeah. It did. Let's just say
Hours, bro.
I am not doing that now, and I
Yeah.
brought it up 3 years ago. So
Oh,
I
really?
think there was some entertaining of it, and maybe I said or did things that didn't line up with the company, and that's
Yeah.
okay. But I think I did my part in expressing where I want it to be, and that's all I can do.
Yeah.
What about you, sir?
I kind of want to eventually start my own shop, honestly. Start my own shop and be my own boss.
That's awesome.
I can't tell you how much I think about just like having my own shop with like 2 or 3 lifts and like that's it. Because I don't know, I get a good amount of people who reach out and they're just like, hey, can you do this? And I'm just like, I don't have the equipment, or I cannot do your transmission in my garage. I'm sorry, But I like connecting with people, especially people with like the older Hondas, because there's a lot of people out there with older Hondas who are like reaching out for stuff, and I'm just like, oh man, I would love to make like a cool video on this. And I was a '90s era type of person with the older stuff, and there's so many people out there who I feel like want their car worked on by like specific people, and they're like, I want you to work on my car, and I'm just like, I can't, I got to hang out with my family this weekend, and then my girl's always just like, you're working on cars again this weekend, like when are we gonna go do something as a family? And I'm just like, I know, so it's not easy doing it all, and then trying not to be on my phone at the end of the day and trying to reply to people, because it gets exhausting, and sometimes I'm just like, guys, I can't go through them, and I want more freedom is what it, like to like if I didn't have this actual job, but I need it just because I have goals and I need money, unfortunately, like a lot of people. So it's kind of hard, man. And then I was like started looking at like what all I need in California to start a business, and I need like my bar license, I need a reseller's license to resell parts, I need an LLC, and then I got the whole OSHA and disposing of fluids and all that stuff. It's very strict, a lot of strict laws. So I was looking at that and I was like, oh man, I don't even want to think about that right now, But I eventually down the road, I do want to branch off, do my own thing. I know I won't be able to do it forever, but I at least want to at my own pace, not at a flat rate pace. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would say all those rules, especially in California, I ain't no joke.
Yeah.
And but also like you said, being your own boss. I mean, at some point you own that shop. You're the owner, and there's other people working for you.
Yeah. So I think that'd be cool, especially since I don't know. Social media has the power to take you very far, and I think some people like have the niche for it and can attract people, and just the way that they work or the way that they are, and to bring in, if it's future business or just people around you, So social media is very underestimated, and that's where I see that it's going nowadays. Like, oh yeah, he's on this post, or he's on this post. Like, oh, take it to him, he knows what to do. That type of thing. So
as I was talking about the personal brand is going to carry techs like yourself that want to create their own shop, and then when they have the ability to contact you, then they'll be like, hey, come to my shop. Or do you have people that come into the dealership asking for you?
I do sometimes, but it's just for like oil changes, and I'm just like, yeah,
Goodbye,
oil change. Just say I did it, okay? Let me post a video under your vehicle. Yeah, look, it's good.
Facts.
But I don't know. I think there's a lot of opportunity, like with what's happening with social media. Like Milwaukee Tools reached out to me. They invited me to go to SEMA last month, or they were like, hey, are you gonna come to SEMA? You know, and then like another brand named Carlisle Tools, I've never heard of it until like Instagram them. They're like, hey, we want to see you at SEMA, come to our booth, you know. And so I applied literally like 2 weeks ago to SEMA for the media, or I guess just to go like, you know, see tools and stuff like that. And I literally just got it today that I was approved. So
Oh, awesome, dude. Congratulations.
So, yeah, thanks. So I was telling my girl, and she was like, who are you gonna go with? And I was like, I guess alone. I was like, I don't know. But I told her, I was like, if Milwaukee sees me go and they'll see that I'm, you know, like, oh, he's actually coming to like a lot of the events and stuff like that, you know, we'll invite him over to when we have our next huge event. You know, I think that's pretty cool. I was like, out of all tool companies, I was like, Milwaukee was the one that I really wanted to work with. So I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, and you'll get to meet him there, and you'll get to like talk to him, and you know, I'm sure other people will recognize you too. I mean, you're very large. I see you getting a lot of traction on social media, so it's not like just the tool companies, but yeah. I mean, that's a huge car scene over there.
Oh yeah, they're huge car scene, and the tools. Like, I really want to get with. I'm sure you guys heard of Grip Edge, right? I'm pretty sure you have, right, Curtis? Do you have any of their stuff?
Have I used it?
Do you have any of their stuff?
No, I kind of. I have some, but they haven't reached out to me or anything. But I've used some of it they're good for like really good for like stripped out bolts and stuff that's rounded off. Like it's very good for like damage control, if you will.
Yeah. I was gonna say
that's all I have it for.
Doesn't Audi use a lot of like Torx in their stuff, right?
Oh yeah, we use Torx and triple squares for everything.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't have any of those, but like some, like, you know, across the shop, you know, they across the shop, they little walk away, grab that toolbox, look in there. Hey, bro, Henry, can I borrow this? Thank you, brother.
Your toolbox is a mess, bro.
Bro, tell me about it.
Curtis, you guys have built-in toolboxes, you said?
Yeah. So we.
You can't do a toolbox tour ever, or what?
I mean, I've posted pictures, dude. I can't. It's like one of those things. I can't risk it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I posted pictures, but I've kind of just stopped. Like I was like, I don't know. You know, it's funny is the tool organization system actually started with that. I was like, hey, you know what would be cool? We got built-in toolboxes. What if we had built-in organization systems for our built-in toolboxes? And then they were like, nah. I was like, oh, cool. Like
they really said no?
Yeah. They're there.
Your toolbox is organized with your own, right? It's your toolbox. Not
Do
really.
What?
Isn't your toolbox organized with your own system?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And they said that if someone wants it in the shop, they can pay for it, but the company wasn't going to pay for it to be put in their toolboxes.
Yeah.
So like it can be done, but I just can't promote it. Like it can't be going around a shop like, hey, you want a box? You want a toolbox system? You want a toolbox system? It's got to be like a natural. It's like they don't want to catch wind of me trying to sell it, and it's like,
bro, what?
That's what you. I don't. You know, in a way, I'm just like, well, why don't they want to help you? You know, like, well, it's something I'm making. You know, if the guys are asking for it, like, how is this bothering you? You know, like,
Facts.
This is not bothering you. This is not, you know, this is not interfering. If you do it off the clock, it's not interfering with company time. Like, I'm trying to build myself. Like, why don't you guys want to help me as well? You know, type of thing.
That is a question that I do not understand, and it's led to a lot of my ventures. The organization and the training and stuff is just like, and I think maybe deep down, I hope that they'll see something online and it'll be like, oh yeah, Curtis does know what he's talking about, but I don't think that'll ever be a reality. I think that's maybe just like a fairy tale.
Do they see you go to like these, like when you go talk to people, do they know about that?
I think so. I mean, but I use my personal PTO time. I'll take my time. And since we're full flat rate, as long as I don't have any tickets waiting in my name, I'm just like, I'll make sure my screen is empty. I'll make sure my tickets are assigned. I'll take my own PTO time, and I'm going and taking my own money and my own time to do these events to network and build up. And I mean, I would assume they see it. I assume they see everything. That everything I post is with the assumption that they're seeing it.
I don't want to speak, you know, really like, I don't want to speak badly about your company. I was like, but you as a worker who produces them so many hours and makes them so much money, like, I make you guys money, you guys know I can't do this forever. Like, am I just another lemon to you to squeeze out and throw away, or can you guys like help me like build as well? Like that's just like a little like, come on guys, like I'm literally sweating every day for you guys, and busting it out. Like, how I think that's, in a way, I think that's like wrong for like some management. You're like, oh no, like we have to do it our way. If you want to do something else, and just type of leave situation,
I I think the company, I mean, we can talk about it off the podcast later, but the company I work for is really, really renowned and really, really good for technicians who want to be technicians for their time as techs. The incentives, the bonus structures, the things that they do for technicians is nothing like I've seen anywhere else.
Yeah.
But then I've also seen that we don't have any, or if we do, I don't know of them. We don't have any service managers or service directors that come up from the shop. You see one or two shop foremen that get old and they can't do it, and they're then turned into like a production manager. Maybe they get to a service manager for a couple months or a year, but then they realize like it just isn't working out for them. It's hard for techs to get. It's hard for good techs to get out of the shop, and I think that's a lot of places. I think it's hard for when you flag a ton of hours and you produce so much money for the company. It's hard for them, at least how I understand, it's hard for them to be like, hey, we want to take this huge production guy and take him out and have him do something else. And I think they've offered that, but they've offered it at like a massive pay cut. And I say massive is like 50%. Like I'm taking a 50% pay cut from my time as a tech to be a trainer or a manager. And it's like, I didn't put in all that hard work to take a 50% pay cut.
Yeah.
And so, and maybe that's why they stopped trying to build with me, is because I'm like, hey, I can't take that pay cut. Like, I just can't. So maybe that's it. I just try to stay as positive as possible about it and be like, hey, I'm just doing my thing. They might not like it, but if they're letting me post and letting me talk and they're letting me go into these events, as long as I'm flagging their hours and getting their customers taken care of, they just let me do my thing and I'll do my thing here. And it's just,
well, at the same time, you never post at work, you post outside of work all the time, Do you think if they came out to you like one day and like, hey man, we don't like what you're saying out of work, how would your response be to that? Like, have you ever thought about that? Like, what you're going to these seminars and, a lot of the stuff kind of reflects on us if this is if you're being treated this way. Have you ever thought about that?
I've definitely thought about it, but I also keep the company name out of everything that I do. I make sure that any podcasts or events I'm on don't say the company name. I make sure that I'm just an Audi Master Tech.
Yeah.
People know. I mean, there's definitely people that know, and people that think just like you asked, like why this and why that, and it's just like this is what they want. It's their company, it's their property. I work for them, and it's just like I'm just doing what I can. It's a tough situation at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, you're just thinking about your family and.
Yeah. I mean, my time here will expire and that's okay. That's what a job is for, it's not forever.
True.
Indeed.
Jay's already thinking about being the service manager.
Yeah, bro.
Well, I say do it now. Do it now before you make too much money.
I'm trying to make big bucks, bro. Them GMs, bro, they be bringing in. I'll be like, dang, brother.
Yeah, I know. The service writers where I'm at, they make like 180. I'm like, I'm doing the wrong thing. I was like, oh no. I was like, I'm putting the part on. I recommend it. I take the picture. I'm like, I'm doing the wrong thing for sure.
No, yeah, man. Like the scale of the dealer, like fixed ops makes the most money for the dealer, but individually they get paid the least. Like sales is like the extra money for the company name. That's how it works. But then they're kind of the showroom. They're where people can take in more profit out of something being sold. But like fixed ops, it's like they pay the bills, they keep the building up, but like techs getting paid, which we seem as good. But then when you look at the grand scheme of things, you're like, dang, bro, I really like I'm blessed 100%. But like for what I put in for the work that like for the tools that I have in my toolbox, for the time I've spent like learning everything to get paid that, bro, the salesman could hop right in a year, not even spend the same money on tools and make the same amount. Like, and just yapping. Hey, do you want this car? Yeah, I like that car. Hey, sales manager, can you close the deal? Hey, finance manager, can you close the paperwork? Boom, they just made a freaking $2,000. Just didn't even say anything to the customer. Goodbye.
Have you looked into the numbers behind the service department in the shop, Jay?
Yeah, I'm a nosy guy.
They do make a lot of money, but they also have a lot of mouths to feed. And I think if you take a dealership and then you take an independent shop, I know a lot of independent shop owners that don't make money some months so that they can pay their bills and they can pay their employees and their techs. Now, I don't know on the dealership side of things as well, but I know that I had this similar thing is like, oh, I'm the tech. I should make this huge percentage of the labor rate. And I still believe that, but understanding the numbers behind the shop and why that is such a hard thing to achieve, and being honest about it. It's important for the managers and the people showing you to be honest about it. And it's saying is like, you understand where the money goes and why it's set up the way it is. And you're like, oh, that makes sense. I mean, I still want more money for myself and for my hourly rate, but I understand now why here are the restrictions and who has to be paid and what bills need to be paid. And like you said, we don't get the glory, we don't get the glamour, but we are the one thing that keeps customers coming back. We make the most consistent money for the dealership.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. What's just, Curtis, what's your hourly or your shop labor rate, if you don't mind sharing?
$285. It's probably pretty high for y'all in California though, no?
We're at 275.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Yeah, I would imagine it's I think a Honda shop here would probably be around 200. 210, something like that. You're at what?
187.
Oh yeah, see, that's probably, I would imagine, what the Toyotas or the Hondas and Toyotas would be around here. I feel like it's kind of hard to compare to California because everything is just different. Like the rules are different, the laws are different, the money's different over there.
California is just a different country. Like it's a different country. It's not part of the United States.
The like in the city, like in San Francisco, I want to say it's like 3 something the labor rate, like the dealers. Like I know there's some like dealers in like Palm Springs, and I'm not talking Honda, I'm talking like Mercedes. I know there's some dealers in Palm Springs, like in Coachella, they're like 350 for like Mercedes or Audi, and I'm just like, yeah, a Cadillac. I'm like, yeah, I can see that, you know.
They'll pay their techs though. They'll pay their techs $60-$70+ an hour though too.
Yeah, those techs, like there are definitely tech like good, like, you know, higher end techs like a Mercedes or somewhere Cadillac that they're like $60 an hour or more, you know. And those guys flag a lot of hours, especially with like GMs or Fords. It's crazy.
Hey, a quick question. I know Jay's take on this, and we won't touch on that part, but I'm curious about your take, Adrian, on this. Is like, as a technician, and you know your time is money, and the more you're there, the more you make. You mentioned your wife and stuff like that. What are some tolls that flat rate and being a technician take on your home life?
I think the weekends, you know, the weekends are our time to relax or go somewhere, you know. On the weekends, I think I'm like booked for the rest of this month and half of next month, and she just wants to do stuff, and I'm just like, like I got this going on. Like I've given her, like, I'm not a good planner, but I have a plan of like what I'm doing all the weekend, you know, like this is what I'm doing. Like, hey, I'm busy with this, and she'll be like, how long is it going to take you? Then I'll be like, it should be like 3 or 4 hour job, you know, and then we try to work around it, especially since we're the people like, all right, on Sunday, we're going to reset, we're going to cook for the week. So we don't have to come home after work and cook, you know, we can just come home, heat up food and, you know, do our thing. But there has been times where she's been like, hey, like, it's just me on the weekend. I know you're working, but like I need help, and she'll be like, I need you to like go grocery shopping or something, and I'll be like, I'll make dinner, I'll make dinner for the week, or I'll make lunch for the week. She'll be like, yeah, but I know you're here, but like I'm taking care of the kid, like you need to be here too. And that's where I'm just like, okay, so I've gotten better about it, but it's still hard because I'm just like, look, like you want to go to Disneyland, like you know what I got to do. I was like, it's not cheap, like you want to go out somewhere, like I'll pay for it, but I was like, I just have to. I'm not trying to use my actual job to pay for a vacation or something. So she understands at the same time, and she knows what eventually what I want to do in the future, and she knows like I have to build like a customer base, I guess, but it's not easy, especially since I have another one coming on the way. So I think I'll be doing less of it, in the coming, like after probably the new year. I won't be around it much.
Well, congratulations, sir. That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'll kind of take the stand a little bit, and it's been hard. I mean, mine are young still, but they definitely start asking. It's like, Daddy, why do you got to go to work? Or can you stay home with us? And it's like, buddy, I trust me. I want to stay home with you, and I want to, spend that time with you. I don't want to go to work, but like you said, you're working towards something, you're working to build something. So in the future, those things can, be more sustainable. And I think in the moment you feel like you don't want to miss that time with, your kids and your wife. And so it's really hard. And, obviously I think communication for me has been big, just making sure I'm trying to be, I think you said it pretty funnily. I'm not a good planner, but I've got a plan. That is so funny, but it's, I've had to use my calendar because I'm a bad planner. I'll use my calendar, and every little thing that I'm doing, or like this podcast or whatever event, is calendar. And so I think that's helped us communicate a little bit better, because if I don't put it there and we both can't see it, it feels like a last minute plan. And so it's like, it just has like more tension on the relationship between me and my wife. And over the last year, she's been phenomenal at taking care of the kids and supporting what I'm doing online and at these events, going and flying all over the country. And so it's hard. Like I feel exactly what you're saying. Like she just wants, like I need help, or, can you just spend time with us, or can you spend time with the boy? They just want to go on a bike ride. And it's like, I'm sorry, like that I haven't taken the initiative on my own to do this. And thank you for saying something. But yeah, it is. I think about it every day.
My daughter will be like, Dad, can you get me early tomorrow? And I'll be like, I'll tell my girl, like, yeah, looks like a slow day. I got nothing going on. And I'll be like, all right, yeah, I'll pick you up like at 2, and I'll get like a diagonal, like, oh, we got the part in stock. And I'm just like, I can't get her. I'm sorry, It's not gonna be 2:00. It's gonna be like 4, So it kind of sucks. My daughter will be like, she'll be expecting me sometimes, and I'll be like, I got off work late, And I remember growing up, like I was the last one to get picked up at school all the time, My parents were out working. So did I hang out with my parents a lot, And I think I need to be better about it, but no, because they were working 12-hour shifts, on the same schedule. So they'd go out, work their 12 hours. We'd take the bus home. I lived out in the country. We had like a little farm. And it wasn't easy, because my dad would be like, he'd come home and be like, you guys feed the goats? And I'd be like, yes, we did that. Okay. And then there was like really no, we took trips, but like hanging out, at home, like there was really none of that in a Hispanic household. There's not like it's different, So what we're trying to do with our daughter is just like, I don't know, we'll go out to the theaters, we'll go out to get dinner, when we can, but like I need to try and be better about it. And, since you're bringing it up, because I'm trying to be present. I'm not saying my parents weren't. They provided and gave food and gave me clothes, and did everything they could. But were they around as often? No, I've told myself I want to be around more. So it's hard. It's not easy, especially when you're working and you're trying to, the bigger goal is over here, but you're, slow down a little bit. And it's kind of like, oh dang, like I got to sacrifice somewhere, it's hard.
Yeah. You couldn't have said it any better. I think the sacrifice part is important, and being present. And then, I mean, it's all important at the end of the day. And I had a thought when you were talking about it, and then just like listening to you, I completely forgot what I was going to say, but I feel exactly what you're saying. And I remember now. It's, I think a lot of people, and specifically technicians, is, you don't have full flat rate, but you experience that enough to know that if there's work to be done and you stay late to get it done, you're going to make more money. And that then puts more weight on the relationships, your family, your wife, and your daughter, that, you're like, oh, I'll pick you up early. And then you get that diag, and you're like, oh, but I really want those 4 hours or whatever. And you're like, and then you're like, we got the money. And then it's just like, it sucks because
it
I feel
sucks.
like
Yeah. Because it's just like, oh, I did all that work, and, did it really matter? Not really. Sometimes, sometimes I'm just like, I didn't have to stay late, like I'll be like, I got to go in early to get a head start in the day, and then I miss out. She gets the kid ready, and that's why I said, like, I'll be doing a lot less of this and more family, like in the new coming year, because it's not easy, man. And you have 2 kids, dude. Like, how far is their span? Like how far away are they from each other?
13 months.
Oof.
They're about to turn in December. I got one turns 5, and then in January one turns 4.
Dang. You got any kids, Jay?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir. Not at all. Don't plan on
just curious.
soon.
Well, I guess we'll end it on that, gentlemen. It's been a very, very nice conversation. Adrian, where can people find you? Your Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, just plug it all.
This same handle for everything. It's HondaTech371. So
that's everywhere. That's awesome. It makes it easy.
Yeah, no, I changed that to everything because I was just like, I don't want multiple handles. What can I do? I was like, I just might as well change it all to the same thing. So that way someone punches it in, they can see every channel that's available out there pretty much.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate having you on and having a great conversation.
Yeah, no, thank you. I didn't realize it's been an hour and 30 minutes. My girl was like, "Are we gonna go get dinner?" And I was just like, "Yeah, it'll be quick,
I think just real quick, I think we Shelly Wrenches will be on. I think we talked about that. She'll be on in the week of Halloween. We'll have her on, and y'all seem to be pretty close as far as from like Honda Tech.
Yeah, she's in a group chat with like 3 other people, and we'll like bounce off or we have help or something like that. But however, I don't think I've ever, like, audio message wise, yeah, I've talked, like, but we talk back and forth. But she's pretty cool, especially for a girl in the automotive industry, which people don't see a lot nowadays.
Okay, so is there one question that you would like for us to ask her on the podcast that you think that could be helpful to other female technicians or other technicians in the industry? So it's a little on the spot. Sorry.
Yeah. It's kind of hard because I know her. If I didn't know her, really, and we've talked about, like, we know her. What she goes through in the shop, and I think what most girls go through in the shop. You can probably ask her, like, what's a big. What's a big struggle that everyone would really ask, of a girl, what's the biggest struggle that a female goes through in the shop? when it comes to dang, it's kind of hard because I've talked to her about everything, you know, so I can't really say here's a question to ask her. But I guess ask her, you know, as a female trying to in the automotive industry, how do you get other females into the automotive industry? Like ask her that, because there's a lot of women who are, you know, pushed away because of men, and you know, like how some people are, you know, like she's told me stories about how some people are, and I'm just like, what the heck is wrong with people, you know?
It's gross.
So,
it's very gross.
Yeah, that exactly. That's what it is, you know. And I'll be like, what the heck? Like, what's wrong with some guys? You know, so just ask it. Like, that's a big problem. But I want to know her take on it, you know, fully. And I'm pretty sure she'll give you a very good answer about it, or an experience maybe. So,
yeah, we're excited to have her on. And again, we appreciate your time. And don't forget to like and subscribe the video.
Yeah.
Follow us on.
Are you sharing this like on a YouTube, or what are you putting this on, or on your channel, on your website?
Yeah, this will be, I think Jay's like, I'm out. This has gone too long. I'm out. Don't blame him. It definitely, we're going to be, right now we have YouTube, the WOTPod. It's like the Way of the Technician podcast on YouTube. We also have a Patreon where is kind of support the podcast. Eventually we'll support the merchandise for the merch for the podcast, and, you know, kind of just helps us fine tune things a little better. Obviously we want to invest in an editor for the podcast. So those types of things. So on Patreon, it's like the paid platform. And yeah, that's the biggest thing right now is just YouTube. We haven't really been taking it anywhere else. Oh no, Jay said his computer died. That's funny. Yeah, that's it. I mean, YouTube's our thing. We've been.
I'll give a sub here in a little bit. I didn't know you guys had a YouTube.
Yeah, I'll share that with you, and just I'll remind the viewers like and subscribe, follow us on Patreon, support the pod. Hopefully, we'll get some merch out there soon. You know, keep the positive influence and technician growth.
Do you have any merch shirt wise? It says like Technar or something, or the G.
I'm working on it. I have been kind of fiddling around with some logos and stuff, but
I like the G you put out for your
I don't have it. I don't have it in here.
That new tool organizer you have.
Oh yeah, well, I have one with the hat on it too.
Yeah, I like that.
I want to get those out. I like that simple, not too much in your face type of thing.
I'll buy a shirt whenever you get one.
Yeah, I appreciate it, sir. And like I said, I appreciate you having you on, and you know, we'll talk to you soon and keep up with you as we go.
Yeah, no, thanks for inviting, man. Appreciate it.